Hey everybody, this is Sarah, and this is the recording of the session I've just done called How Anyone Can Feel More Fulfilled at Work. Now, the reason I'm doing this session, the reason I'm recording it is in the live session, people are sharing things. I don't want to share what other people have shared within those sessions. It's unfair on them. If you're attending a live session, the idea is obviously that you can create something, you can actually get value out of it. And hopefully by doing this recording, it will enable more people to actually use some of the ideas that I've created through the courses that I run, through the people I speak to. I'm always doing research in this area. And so what I want to do today is just share some of that and give you the ideas of the kind of things that what I'm finding are helping people to feel more fulfilled, to actually create more of an impact. So the idea is that I'm just going to start sharing my screen so you can see it. I'm hoping that you can see my screen and me now. So let's see. So this session is really aimed at anyone who wants to have more fun and more fulfillment at work, especially those who want to go out and create more of a positive impact. Positive impact is really important for me and what I do in the world, because I'm trying to create and help people who want to make a positive change actually create more of a change. So I stand for equality. Off that, we will create sustainability. But it's all, for me, about how we leverage technology to actually enable us to create or walk into sustainability. So I've spent enough years myself in the not so engaged bucket and feeling powerless to change it. And actually, we need to retain diverse talent in tech and also encourage new diverse talent in if we're going to solve the problems we've got around us today. I often say it's almost like we've got all the technology around us, or we can develop it. But now we need to enable humans to create sustainable solutions. So what I stand for with my business is, value and purpose. So that's why I've done my B Corp certification. If you look at the sustainable development goals that are associated with the kind of work that I do, I'm looking at gender equality. I'm looking at industry and innovations of how this is showing up in tech, and also reducing inequalities. It's really important for me that we help people thrive, be the best form of themselves, contribute their unique value in this world. Because as Gallup stats are still showing, there are 80% of employees globally that are not engaged at work. And this is just such a waste. It's a waste of potential in being able to create a more sustainable future for life on Earth. Now, the mistakes I see are people not knowing what they actually want to achieve, taking someone else's idea or definition of success, and actually they suddenly realize you're working really hard, and when it gets there, it can feel empty. Is this the reason I'm doing this? Was this what I wanted? So if we're able to put into words what's important to you in a way others can understand, you can be clear on your unique value and your contribution and how to maximize your potential. Otherwise, you feel frustrated. And actually, this is what we're seeing. We're seeing people just switching off, feeling like they can't win, getting stuck, and leaving the tech industry or leaving industry in general. And instead, what I'd like to offer is the fact that I believe we have a unique impact we can all make in this world with our unique strengths and perspectives. And if only we can take the courage to share what's important to us in an open way and listen to other people, then we can make massive change. Imagine what we could achieve, the changes we could achieve in the world, in making the world a better place for future generations, if we were all engaged, passionate about our work, and able to use our strengths, standing proud of that unique impact that each of us can make. So that's what this is about. What's the unique impact that you can make? You see, all the solutions to the problems we face across humanity today, across this world, will contain technology in one form or another. Be it solving world hunger, be it education opportunities, the equalizers will contain tech. The solutions to creating a more sustainable future will contain tech. So tech businesses, therefore, have a massive part to play in how successful humanity is in creating a more sustainable future for life on Earth. And the businesses that rewrite this tech landscape in the next 10 years will put inclusive leadership at the heart of innovative technology. Because we can't create sustainable solutions without hearing all the voices, without having difficult conversations, without enabling humans to contribute their unique value. So as a leader, are you ready to play to your strengths in creating this new emerging world? A world where technology, equality, and sustainability are leveraged to co-create a more balanced world economy and society. Is this important to you? Because if it is, then you are needed to create this future. And I can guarantee that individually, each of you can start making more of an impact today. And it comes down to being you. And this is almost the beauty in its simplicity. Who are you? What's important to you? What are your values? What are your strengths? What are you good at? And how does your life story contribute to actually what's important to you today, how you're showing up in the world? Because each of us want to achieve something. But what is it you want to achieve today? Not what you wanted to achieve 5 years ago. What is it you want to achieve today? What does success look like? Because when you're honoring your values, what's important to you, when you're playing to your strengths and contributing your strengths to create something bigger than just you, and you're honoring your life story and how that's showing up, when you learn to talk about these things, when you learn how to align these with what you want to achieve in your job, then life gets an awful lot easier. They might not align directly, but how do these align with, for example, your company visions and values? What excites you about them? You see, very much a simplification, but what you want to achieve today, you can kind of see as your purpose. Why am I here? Why do I get up in the morning? Your why. And yet the bit we don't get told, it's like some big secret, is that over time, what we want to achieve changes. For some of us, it changes earlier, some of us it changes later, but it's a guarantee it will change during your life. And reassessing and getting clear as to, okay, now, today, which is why all of this says today, what do I stand for? What's important to me? What am I good at? What are my strengths? And what does my life story bring to me? Now, the life story is vital because actually something happens in life and all of a sudden you shift. Your view of the world has changed in an instant. This might be a small change or it might be a really significant change. It can happen for any number of reasons. It can be grief. It can be, starting a family. It can be you've been bullied. It can be anything. But what you knew or your perception of life yesterday is different to your perception of life today. And actually, at that point, it's really important to go check in with yourself. What do I want to achieve? Is that still important to me? How do I align myself with that? And maybe you can align it and stay within your current company. And there may be times when you recognize, like I did, that actually staying in my current company is dishonoring my values, is actually hurting me mentally and physically. So being aware is really important. Looking for the alignment, your values, your purpose. What is it that's, that I want to achieve? Some people talk about work-life balance. Actually, it's more about life synergy. They don't have to be completely aligned, but the closer you can bring these elements, the more fulfilled, the more relaxed and happy you will be, because you're contributing to something bigger. You're investing your energy in creating something which is important to you. You need to be in an environment where you're empowered to play to your strengths. A lot of people struggle with this one, and actually, you can have this conversation with your boss quite easily. How can we create more value for the team, for the business, by using my strengths more? Just see what that, short sentence comes up with in your next review. Most people kind of stop and then look at you, question you. And it's an amazing opportunity. If you can all start tweaking your roles to play more to your strengths. We're often taught that we need to go focus on our weaknesses, go invest in our weaknesses. And yet we get more back by investing in our strengths, making our strengths stronger, making that our unique selling point. All of this helps you lead to feeling more fulfilled, for feeling like you've achieved something. And actually, at those points when you're feeling like you're struggling, you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling discomfort, usually in your body somewhere, that is a good sign to go and reassess. Go check in, go back to these questions that I've asked you. Am I in the right place? What can I do to tweak my role? What can I do to tweak my life to really start aiming more clearly to what's important to me? That is what will make the difference. So you can make the most impact when you're excited and you're passionate about what your company does. When your values align fairly closely with your team values or your company values, the values you're seeing lived, not the ones that are on the wall. When you're able to tune your role to play to your strengths, and you feel empowered to share what's important to you, you feel valued, your input is valued, and you're being challenged to grow and develop. You need a strong and supportive community of allies within your business and at home. All of us do. We're pack animals at the end of the day as humans. We thrive when we've got other people supporting us, other people we can turn to. And it's super important because actually the time we least ask for help is when we need it most. So we need people close enough to us to also help us, to call us out. We're not on this journey alone. So it's almost as though your career is your platform or your delivery system for living your purpose. It's a quote I heard recently, but I think it's amazing. The closer we can bring what's important to us as a person and what's important to us in our roles together, the easier everything becomes. Now, I've created a proven system to help leaders in tech take their careers to the next level, design their careers to thrive. And I say it starts and it ends with you. Now, especially female leaders struggle to say what's important to them, what they're good at, or recognize the potential to make these minor tweaks to make their working life more enjoyable. These are all high achievers. And yet I so often hear, is this it? Is this really what I've worked so hard to achieve? They've aimed for something which is not meaningful to them. And so we need to stop and reassess. Go back and look. Who are you today? What's important to you? And give yourself permission to redesign. So most feel stuck because of these internal dialogues and because they just don't fit working in the environment they are today. It's possible, like I said, you can tweak things, and it's possible something much more fundamental might need to change. So the top tips that I want to share with you today is be clear on who you are today. Go back to that slide, look at the different areas, just write yourself a few notes down. Get clear on what you want to achieve. What does success look like? When will you feel successful? What will you have done? Know your unique value, your strengths, coupled with what's important to you, coupled with your life story. And how does that show up? How do you want it to show up in the world? Tune your role to your strengths. Tune your role to look for opportunities, and also look for opportunities around you where you might be able to contribute more value than you are today. Check for alignment with your company's vision and purpose, because this will actually help you recognize, am I in the right place? Can I even contribute? And the last point that a lot of people forget is you get to design your relationships to support and challenge you, both in the business and at home. Have those conversations. Work out the relationships that are working that you want to invest more in. Work out the relationships where maybe you're getting drained, but are they important? If they are, go redesign them. Simple questions like, I feel like we've not been working together well recently. How can we design our relationship better so we can support each other more? Or how can we communicate better together? How can we create more value for the organization by each of us playing to our strengths more? Any of these type of questions will just help you go into a conversation and design your relationships. We don't spend much time thinking about designing relationships or how to create little changes that will make our lives more fun. And the big thing is, we need to get comfortable about speaking up about it. Now, speaking up is, a whole topic in itself, and it can be so hard. However, there's no quicker way to figure out, do I fit in here? And can I thrive in this environment? Than by using your voice, sharing what's important to you, sharing what your thoughts and your feelings are. So today I've shared with you a few of the small changes that you can make as an individual. They're simple if you are conscious about them. Now, when you get this right, one of my clients, for example, said, I realize that you can't be anybody else other than yourself and expect to be happy, to contribute, and to have impact. You can try, she said, but actually it might work for a short time, but over time it breaks down. It causes first mental stress, which will eventually turn into physical stress, and it will have implications in your health and well-being. Trying to be somebody else doesn't work. She goes on to say, I have now stopped apologizing for my existence and now focus my energy on creating positive impact aligned to my organization's values. So she's stayed in her role, and yet what she's created in the last 6 months is actually changing her role from being focused over here to being focused over here. Her job title hasn't changed. Her role description has not changed. And yet by focusing on where she can create the most impact, what she's doing has changed. What her team are doing has changed. And she's created so many new opportunities. So as I share this, I want you to go back to, what's the unique impact that you can make in this world? What are your unique strengths and perspectives if you take the courage to share what's important to you, in an open way and create space to listen to others. What is it that you can achieve? What is it you want? We can change anything in our lives. We've just got to be prepared that there will be consequences. However, those consequences that our brain tells us, all those stories, they're usually nowhere near as bad as what actually the implications are. So if you want to know more about designing your career to thrive, then let me know. Because whilst this is important for everyone at any point in your career, the people who get the most out of working with me, who get the most out of, a one-on-one session where we can try and open some of this up, are leaders in tech with kind of 5 years of experience or so, who want to make a positive impact. If this is you, if you want to make a change, then feel free to use the link below and try and get one of the 3 free career opportunity finder sessions I run each month, just for you, and discover the possibility of designing your career to thrive. Because when you book a career opportunity finder session, on the call, we look at what's going on, what's working, what's not, and set some goals of what you want to achieve. Now, if you're a good fit and you want help in achieving these goals, then I'll show you how on that call. And I might make you an offer to join one of my programs. But then you get to decide